All right. I was gonna say good evening, but it's actually past midnight. So it's good morning. And I actually missed my 15th day. That's okay though. So I've been pondering a lot about what to do this video on. And I've had this thought kind of repeat in my head. So I want to talk about it. So there's a question about purpose in a lot of our minds and hearts. And that question comes up repeatedly, really. Never seems to get answered. But there is an answer. But there's kind of two perspectives really. There's one of totality to completion to um what our purpose is in the grand scheme of things, the overarching purpose of life, of being here. And then there's the lesser purpose of, what do we do? What's my job? What's my vocation? What's that thing that will seem to have some fulfillment for me? I don't know about you, but for me, like most of my life, I have not felt like I fit in anywhere. I mean, I was able to have some friends. I was able to hang out with certain groups, but no one group did I ever really fit in. I was able to function and operate and you know find some level of camaraderie with different groups. And I was kind of a chameleon. I could schmooze with the jocks. I could hang out with the nerdy people, the geeks. I could, you know, hang out with the rockers. You know what I mean? Um, I was able to kind of go in and out of these different groups, but I never really fit in. Accepted with some of them, maybe not fully, because I was kind of an outsider. Always have been. Most of the time, I felt like an outsider in my own house. Felt like an outsider to my brother, and to my parents. Felt alone most of the time. Forgotten, left to the side. Felt thrown away at times. So there was always that aching question: what is my purpose? What am I for? Why am I here? Why don't I fit in anywhere? Why do I feel so alone in the largest groups of people? Why do I feel so far away when I'm so close to someone? I'd be conversing and it's like I'm speaking a different language. And they're speaking a different language. Not on the same wavelength. Like, couldn't catch anything. That's what it felt like. Now, mind you, a lot of these feelings aren't true, right? It's not true. It's just how it feels. There is the Westminster Catechism that poses the question, what is the chief end of man? What is the chief purpose of man? And their answer is man's chief end is to glorify God and to enjoy him forever. That seems pretty lofty. I remember some years ago, and I've done this a couple times. Some years ago, I was just crying out to God, like, what am I for? What is my purpose? What do you have for me? What, you know? And of course, in my mind, I'm thinking, what ministry, what title, what am I supposed to be doing? I feel this call to some sort of ministry, but I don't know what that is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the function of this thing. That there's always been this hodgepodge of a bunch of different things, I have the fortunate and unfortunate thing in my life that I'm a bit of a polymath. Know a tiny bit about hundreds of different things. But not overly proficient in any of them, really. I remember the old saying, what is it? Something to the effect of, I'm drawing a blank right now because I'm remembering the rest of it. Most people don't know the rest of it, but it is jack of all trades, master of none. But the rest of that thing says the jack of all trades, the master of none is better than the master of one, which is interesting. Be that as it may, that has been my lot in life. But I was really digging into God. I was really like trying to press him for an answer. Remember the one time I did it, I was like, I had this same question over and over and over. I was like, God, what am I for? What am I for? I need to know, what am I for? And at first I thought the answer was a bit sarcastic. I mean, not in a bad way. If you look through the Gospels, you see this little tinge of sarcasm that Jesus has. It's kind of funny. But to answer my question, Lord, what am I for? He says to me, you're for me. You are for me. Okay. It's not really what I was asking. Another time I was pressing him, sort of the same question. Um, I'm like, what is my purpose? Right? I changed the question, right? You gotta change the question sometimes. You don't get the answer you feel like you need, you change the question. So I'm asking him again, what is my purpose? What am I for? What is my purpose? And again, he says, you're mine. You're for me. But he added a little more to answer what I was really asking. You're mine. You don't need a title or a job description to tell you that or to describe that. You're mine. You're for me. And then he reminded me of what happened with the Levites. So God was portioning out the land to all of the tribes of Israel. And every single tribe got a portion of the land. But the Levites seemingly got jack squat. No portion in the land. But this is what God says. Speaking to Aaron, he says, you shall have no inheritance in the land of the Israelites, nor will you have any portion of the land among them. I am your portion and your inheritance among the children of Israel. The Lord was their portion. If you feel like you don't fit in and you haven't fit in anywhere, perhaps this is true for you. The Lord is your portion. You don't fit in anywhere because He has especially decided that your inheritance, your portion, your stature, your vocation, your purpose is just to be in Him. And that is when you think about it, that is an amazing thing. I mean, everybody else they get some stuff. They get, some title. The title that God speaks over you is, you're mine. I'm your portion. I'm your inheritance. It wasn't just a declaration over them like, some legal position. With the land, the other Israelites got, the other tribes, that was a legal position, really. I mean, this isn't a legal position when you have God as your portion. It's more than just a declaration. It's more than just a pronouncement. It's an invitation. And if it's an invitation, then that means that he is intent and committed to giving himself to us. If we choose to give ourselves to him. You are for him. He is your portion. He is your inheritance. If you want to know more about this, and you want to press into God more, develop intimacy, prayer life, worship, that's what we're all about here at Upward Rain. So feel free to look around. Please subscribe, like this video, share it. And there's going to be a lot more coming.